What's up, guys? Welcome to another video today. For you guys, we have something special. Dude, I look so ugly. I need a haircut. Dude, I want to put you guys onto a good book. Carl Jung, apparently one of the greatest psychologists, which he really is. He's very good. There's a book, if you have Spotify. I don't know if you have to pay for it, though. I pay for Spotify, so maybe that's why I get it, but it's called The Red Book, Carl Jung. I'm not gonna lie, though, Carl Jung did seem a little gay, but dude, there's not one man of power who didn't do some gay shit. I guarantee every single, not guarantee, I know it. Every single politician has sucked a dick. I know it. There's no doubt in my mind. I know they all have. I know they have. You don't get to where you're at without humiliation. That's one of the devil's main tactic to break down a man's subconscious mind is through humiliation. And because if you could get a man to do something that he's not proud of and hold it over his head forever, he's your slave. That's how the devil works. That's why forgiving yourself when you sin is so important, because how many times did we sin and we come back to God, but we can't get past that hill because we don't forgive ourselves and we feel humiliated, and the devil's holding it over you like, haha, you can't get over this. You just gotta fucking slap the devil in the face. It's suck a fart. But that's why reading the Red Book is actually really interesting, because it makes you think, who is really the devil, though? Is it your lower nature? Because we all could be the devil. And who is God, right? Obviously Christ, but we all have God within us is what I'm trying to say. We all have the capacity to being the devil. I'm not saying we are the devil and we are God. I'm just saying we have the capacity to do both, and that's leading me into this video. How to bring your fallen state into your higher version of yourself. Now, you got the 7 deadly sins on the left, and on the right, the righteous side, you have the 7 things you combat them with. So, this is the fallen state. Fuck. This is the fallen state of man. And this, fuck. Yo, you cocksucker. We should be romancing. Higher. Okay, let me. Higher self. Okay? So this is the nature of the higher self, and this is the nature of the fallen state. Okay. So for your lower nature, you have the 7 deadly sins: pride, lust, sloth, wrath, gluttony, envy, and greed. And on the right, you have the polar opposites of themselves. So before we state them, in order to understand God, you have to understand the polar opposites. So it's the whole thing when you're going in war. In order to beat the enemy, first you must know yourself. If you don't know yourself but know the enemy, you could get only so close. If you know the enemy but don't know yourself, then even if you win the war, so to say, longevity wise, you cannot rule the army. But those who know themselves and know the enemy can rule over the land. That's also in a book, The Art of War. It's a good book too. So you got the higher self and you got the fallen state. So in order to fix the fallen state, you need to integrate the fruits of the Spirit. Some of these weren't stated exactly in the Bible, but this is all the fruits of Christ, which what Christ had within himself. So you have love, humility, eagerness, portion control, gentleness, contentment, and goodwill. So what we're going to do, we're going to connect the dots, and we're going to kind of say how they work hand in hand. Because, look, you could be redeemed by the blood of the cross, which you will be redeemed if you truly want it. But a lot of the times, I feel like Christians have a misconception where, oh, I believe in Jesus, I don't have to do any work to fix myself. The Lord's gonna come down and make me perfect. I'm gonna wake up perfect. Dude, no. You're in deep layers of sin, so it's always good to learn more. That's why God says, ask for wisdom, and I will give you wisdom continuously. And what's the difference between wisdom and knowledge? Knowledge is more textbook. You know the state of what the problem might be, but wisdom, you give deep-rooted answers to the problem. So that's why there's a lot of people, they have knowledge of the cross. They could tell you, oh yes, Jesus died at age 33. He was crucified by the Jews and Romans. But then you have wisdom who say, yeah, Jesus died at the age 33. The reason why the age 33 is significant is because. And they break down the Bible. And they teach people who have a hard time understanding certain things. That's why you always want to ask for wisdom before you ask for the knowledge. Because you could be knowledgeable, but if you don't have the wisdom of the Lord, humility, love, all that knowledge will be forsaken. Because what's the point of being so smart, but you don't have the tools to put them into good works? Because there's so many people who have so much knowledge, but they don't have the heart to put them into good works. And that knowledge goes forsaken, and it's gone with the wind. It's literally a kingdom built upon sand. It's going to crumble. So, you got love, humility, eagerness, portion control, gentleness, contentment, and goodwill. So, that being said, guys, we're going to get into it. So, for pride, what do you guys think the polar opposite of pride is going to be? Being straight. Fucking gay people. Okay. You have love, humility, eagerness, portion control, gentleness, contentment, and goodwill. So, I would say I'm between two. I would say contentment or humility, but I would have to say humility complements pride better. So, in the Bible it says the proud will be, I forgot what it said. I think it said punished in front of everyone. They would be humiliated in front of everyone. Now, to have pride in your work is different than being prideful. To take pride in your work is saying, wow, I worked hard today. Thank you, God. Like, you give me the opportunity today. And as a man, you almost have to have a little bit of, I wouldn't use the word pride. I would say self-belief. Because when you're with God, yeah, I'm proud of my God. I'm proud that I believe in God. And I'm proud of and what I could accomplish in the sense where I know anyone could do it if they just believe. You know what I mean? So to have humility is to say, yeah, I bust my ass. Anyone can do it, but you just have to really have self-belief. So humility comes in with self-belief, but pride is more putting others down for no fucking reason. And literally, pride leads to people thinking they're more than humans, and that's where sin takes place, because that's how many people in the music industry, because of pride, took them to where they are now. Oh, they want everyone to worship them, idol worship, all this music on stage. They have so much egotistical pride, it's disgusting. That's why they get fucked in the ass to keep their status. So, it's true though, it's true. So, the remedy for pride is always humility. And you could always tell who's bullshit humility and who's true humility. Bullshit humility is like, yeah, I'm just a piece of shit. No one loves me. I'm a sucker for God. And they look because it's secretly trying to be prideful. You could pretend to have humility, but actually be really prideful. And that's disgusting. I'd rather someone who's honest about them being prideful than someone who's lying about being having humility. That's why I never some guy asked me, oh, you cuss and this and that, but you're a Christian. I know sometimes I should watch my words, but I know I'm just a human like everyone else who's watching, and to help someone, you almost have to become like them in the sense where, wow, this guy, he's kind of like me, but the things he's saying is much different from what I'm saying. I could be just like him. And it causes a ripple effect. That's why I come on here in pajamas. I never felt the need I have to dress up nice, tidy, and I'm going to save the world. I'm here to help the ones who want to be helped, and the ones who don't want to be helped, God bless them, but what am I going to do? I'm not going to sit there, I'm your God. No, that's between you and God, man. Good luck. So there's a difference between pride and humility for sure. Lust. This one's obvious, right? Eagerness. But you know what, though? Eagerness could be with lust. You got to be eager for God's mercy, and but, you know, eagerness could go to anything. Lust, portion control? No. Gentleness? Not really. Contentment? Like, you could put these with every sin, but no. Goodwill? Okay. I'm between goodwill and love. Love, come on, guys. Dude. To love is to say, I know you're not perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. I don't want you to be perfect. I want you for all of you. It doesn't matter what it is, where it is, how it is. I want you for you. Lust is, I care to the certain degrees what you look like. I care where we're going to be. It needs to be at the perfect time because I just want to have sex. Lust will really take a man who's low and just bring him down fucking lower, because how many times have men, including myself, watched porn after a rough day, and on top of being broke loser feeling bummy, I watch fucking porn. Right? But it's also because, dude, the genitals, the testiculars, is your creation center. Look, if you just take out porn, you stop lusting, you stop talking to women, but you don't have a passion, you don't have anywhere to put that sexual energy to, it's not going to work. You need something that derives meaning. It needs to be something that that is timeless. Whether it's working out, whether it's reading, whether it's talking about God, whatever it is. Because lust is energy. Sex is energy. Your creation center, that is the creative center, right? So when you're using your creative center, your dick, for evil, because God is creation, it's supposed to emulate God. When you're using your creation center for evil, everything that you want to fulfill is going to waste. So when you stop using the creation center for lust, you need to use the creation center to create. You need to create. I don't care what you're creating, whether it's better habits, better eating. It doesn't matter what it is. That sexual essence needs to go somewhere, because the sexual essence purely means creation. Because, like I said again, creation is God. And a lot of people lack these words when they're talking about lust. Oh, you just need to stop watching porn and believe in the Lord and the Word. Okay, I believe, but I'm still really depressed. I'm not talking to any girls, but when I lay in my bed, I don't have purpose, and sometimes I want to kill myself. Can you help me? You need to read more. No. You need to have a purpose, and you need to put the energy into your purpose. Because, dude, ever since I picked up this microphone, so yeah, don't get me wrong, I fall into lust because at the time I had a girlfriend. By the way, me and that girl broke up, just so you guys know. But, dude, I realized this is taking me away from what I really want to do. After I'm done with this video, man, I'm so amped up because it gives me meaning. You know what I mean? So, yeah. With lust to men, you need to put that energy somewhere, dude. But it can't be something that you get sick of. It can't just be... for me, it wasn't the gym. For me, the gym got old quick. For me, it was making videos about God. Like, that's what it was for me. Sloth. Goodwill? Not really. Contentment? No. That would actually destroy. That would make you even more lazy. Gentleness? No. Portion control? Almost. We're getting there. Or eagerness. So, I'm between eagerness and portion control, guys. What do you think? Leave it down in the comments before I say it. You got your answer? Locked in? You said portion control? You're fucking wrong. It's eagerness. Dumbass. Dude. Now, one of the main reasons why people fall into sloth is because they give themselves a to-do list to do in an hour. And they get so overwhelmed, they say, oh, I'm not even going to do it. If you live in just today, do one thing at a time, focus on one thing today. What can I do today that's going to make me feel better so when I wake up tomorrow, I have less on my plate? Because I'm always going to have things to worry about. Even the Bible says, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own troubles. You're always going to have problems tomorrow. So what can you do to make your morning, your night, whatever it may be, easier? And with sloth, sometimes the easiest remedy to sloth is get up and fucking go. Easier said than done. But with sloth, I can't really give a whole speech. I can, but it's something you guys heard a million times. You need... you can't have motivation because motivation fails. You need to have discipline, which it is true. With sloth, and I heard this thing, you have to do what you hate like you love it, right? A lot of the time, sloth, we need to do it, but we don't really feel like it. A lot of the things we need to do, we don't really feel like it. But no matter what you do, that's why I even said if you're a McDonald's worker, you have to scrub the floor like no one's going to scrub the floor harder than you. Because if you, whatever you give, even if, like I said, even if you're wiping your ass, if you give it 110%, that is going, not because, obviously you want to have a clean ass, but it's going to transfer in whatever you do in this life. Whatever you do in this life, if you do it with eagerness, whatever you do, you're going to succeed. So if you start small with your job, you do it like there's no tomorrow. When you have $1 million, you're going to invest it like you've never invested before. If you invest $1 like you've never invested it before and bring it up to 10 and you're sweating and fucking you're working your ass off, imagine how much $1 million is going to profit you. Wrath. Okay. Portion control. Nah. Gentleness. Contentment. Goodwill. Okay, Wrath. I actually kind of forgot. Fuck. Okay, yeah. Wrath is obviously gonna go to gentleness, dude. And this is a question to men. How many men have you guys been going through a rough time, and you meet a guy who is so gentle and understanding, more than most women you've met, and you're like, oh my god, and you just fucking shed so many tears, dude. Being gentle like Christ shows that it really doesn't get better than this. And dude, a lot of bad shit comes from wrath. I've been really wrathful in my days. I'll tell you a story. I was mad at a circumstance with my car. Something happened. Dude, I lost my temper and I put my fist through the mirror. And it was my mirror that's connected to my windshield, my rear view mirror. And I hit it and it ripped off my fucking rear window. And it shattered it. I had to fix it. So decisions out of anger cannot be undone. If you do something out of anger, it's cannot be undone. And guys, I want to tell you something. A lot of the times, this is to just break down some deep hidden anger within you guys. A lot of the anger within you guys is suppressed because, let me tell you something. Carl Jung, like I said, one of the greatest psychologists, he said, in order to complete who you are, you need to integrate the shadow self into who you are. I think he called it, I guess he said the ego is like the wholeness of who you are. But anyways, long story short, you need to integrate your shadows with who you are. What does that mean? I'll tell you. If you are someone who hates when people touch you, but you always suppress it, say, oh, it's okay, one day you're just going to fucking snap and you're going to grab them by the throat and want to kill them. The more you keep denying that shadow part of yourself, I don't like to be touched, but you keep ignoring it, the more your wrath is going to build up and you're just going to fucking snap. So integrating it would be to, you need to learn how to use your voice. If you have a hard time speaking up, that means there is work within the self-expression that needs to be worked on. So instead of being like, oh, it's okay, you could be like, hey man, I really appreciate it if you stop touching me. Each time someone does something that you keep suppressing, you need to bring it up, but in a controlled state. That way, it doesn't build trauma of each time you want to confront it, because sometimes, so often, we confront it in the wrong term. So we build trauma about it, and we're like, I'm not even going to try to fix it. But if you do it in a controlled, gentle manner, that's why gentleness, that's why I put it with wrath. If you can do it in a controlled, gentle manner, and you're honest with what bothers you, then, because that's kind of why we lash out, because we can't control our temper, but it's often you need to do it in a more gentle manner, and you need to stop suppressing how you feel. Gluttony. Portion control, contentment, or goodwill. Okay, so I'm going between contentment or portion control. I honestly kind of forgot. What do you guys think? Contentment or... Because it could be... Contentment makes sense, but I'm going to go with portion control. Now, gluttony is simply the overconsumption of anything, right? So, if you're over-consuming food, it's gluttony. If you're over-consuming content you shouldn't be watching, it's gluttony. Whatever you're over-consuming that leads to negativity, if it has any really bad negative side effects, it's probably gluttony. And guys, just because you're eating 110% good, but you're shaming others who eat bad, I don't care how good you're eating, to me that's gluttony. Because you're literally worshiping your food. You're letting the overconsumption of good food lead you to pride. That's why I always say the 7 deadly sins are rooted into one sin. Because being so proud of your food, and literally worshiping it. It's gluttony, pride, like all in the same category. So you need to learn to portion control. A lot of the time people cold turkey shit and they fall right back into their addiction, and it's even worse. You need to learn how to portion control. You have to understand you're not, maybe some people, there are some different breeds, like a fucking David Goggin. They could wake up and say, yeah, I'm done smoking, I'm done watching porn. And if you could do it, that, all the power to you, do it. But if you can't do that, you need to learn how to portion control and slowly take your foot off the brakes, because you need to rewrite everything that you think that you need. If you've been eating McDonald's for 3 years, every morning you're going to wake up and say, I need that McDonald's. If you wake up and say, I don't think I need McDonald's today, then you wake up the next day, I don't need McDonald's today. You're portion controlling yourself. You're slowly easing into it, and you need to keep retraining your thoughts with gluttony. Each time, let's say I said it's the overconsumption of something. I want to pick up my phone, go on TikTok. Right when I pick it up, I don't need it. But I do. Fuck, I really don't. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't. And you need to say it like you mean it, and you need to believe it. If you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen. Belief is, if you could imagine it and believe it, you're already halfway there. You just need to put it into practice. Envy. This is probably the most, it could be both goodwill or contentment. I will say goodwill though, because when you envy something, that means it's not pure, your emotions towards them, and it's not real. Let's just say my buddy has an awesome car. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, lucky fucking bastard. I'm lacking goodwill. I need to be more happy for the person who has what I really want, because there's people who look at you and say, damn, I want what that guy has. Whether you believe it or not, it's 110% true. Go to fucking Gaza where kids are starving with a fucking hamburger in your hand. The kids are gonna be like, damn, I envy him. I want some of that. So like, no matter what it is, there's always different levels to envy. You might envy someone, there's always someone envying you. You have to remember, it's really not that deep, dude. Sometimes it's that simple, it's not that deep. What someone has, there's a reason why you don't have it. Not in a negative way, but maybe it's a good reason you're not driving around in a Lamborghini. Sometimes, we're all capable of portion controlling and having good stuff, but that's why Jesus said it's so hard for the rich to get into heaven. Not because we shouldn't be rich, but because the greed corrupts our mind, dude. And envy goes straight into greed. That's why I'm going to get into it. Greed, contentment. Dude, there's a Bible verse. I'm going to read it to you. Do not wish. 1 Corinthians 7:17. It says, I fucking love this. A lot of people tend to skip over this. And don't be wishing you were someplace else or with someone else. Where you are right now is God's place for you. Live and obey and love and believe right there. God, not your material status, defines your life. Don't think I'm being harder on you than others. I give you some counsel in all churches. So, dude, you don't have to be a millionaire. I've met a lot of people, they don't really care to be a millionaire, but they feel like they have to just because of the society norm. Dude, if you're content with making $60,000 to $70,000 a year and you're putting food on the table and you're happy, don't let this fuck-ass world make you think you need to be a fucking rock star. You don't need to, dude. And with that being said, in order to get to where you want to be, you have to be content with where you are. The people that say never be content, always be hungry. Yeah, you're always hungry. You're always being greedy and gluttonous. You know, you could always be hungry, but you'll just never enjoy what the toils of your labor. What's the point of working so hard if you always want more? There's literally no point. King Solomon wrote a passage, you could say. It's called Meaningless. If you disagree with me, look into it. King Solomon was the most wisdomful person in the whole entire world to ever exist, because he got wisdom directly from God. It was one of the wish he was granted, and it was straight wisdom. And he, kingdoms on kingdoms, riches on riches, but he always wanted more, and he was so unsatisfied. And to the end, he always said it was all meaningless. So to those who disagree, this is a guy who had it all. And yeah, maybe you will keep getting there. Maybe you'll keep doing better because you're so hungry, but guess what? You'll never enjoy it, and that is so fucking miserable. I'd rather be in a kiddie pool that's fucking nice, ice cold, and I'm just relaxing and chilling, than in a huge pool feeling like I have to do fucking laps for no reason after I just did 3 hours of cardio. I want to fucking relax in a pool. I didn't get a fucking pool so I could do 3 hours of cardio at the gym and do laps in the fucking pool. I got the pool to fucking relax. And if you think, oh, it's just you're lazy, no, because you could still work hard and relax. Literally in the Bible, God made the earth, and then he rested. And he enjoyed his toils. That's why he made humans, to enjoy it with him. He didn't just make humans, because so they could sin. No, originally he made humans so we could be with God and just be in love. But now we lost that. Now we all have to keep doing more for ill intent. There's no good intent. If you're going to keep doing more, it has to be good intent, or else you'll never be happy. It's just not because I don't want you guys to be rich. I want you all to be fucking billionaires. But I want you all to be happy too, and I want you all to stay to be rich, but to not let it eat you alive. I want you guys to all find the good balance, and I know you guys could do it. Yeah, guys, this was one of my favorite videos I've ever made. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Jesus is king. And guys, this type of breakdown videos, expect more, because more will be coming. Next video, it's going to be fire. Stay tuned, guys.